Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more action figures from The Force Awakens, and in today's review we're going to continue to look at the Build-A-Weapon series. Now the next figure I want to give you a look at was actually one of the first figures that I picked up just after Force Friday. Unfortunately I was on holiday when Force Friday arrived and didn't get the chance to do all my Force Awakens shopping on the day of release. But the day after I nipped up to my local stores and had a look around. Had a limited budget at the time, but was able to pick up a few figures. And ever since I saw the costume on display for this character at Celebration, I knew that he'd be one of the first figures that I wanted to pick up, and he certainly doesn't disappoint. It is none other than this guy, the First Order Flametrooper. Now, one of the things that I really love about The Force Awakens, without even seeing the movie, is how many variations of troopers we're actually seeing. You know, we have stormtroopers, we've got flametroopers, snowtroopers, we have Captain Phasma, of course. You know, just so many different and cool designs. I'm struggling to keep up. There are just so many really cool characters, and the Flametrooper is one of my personal favourites. At first I was a little bit hesitant, you know, I was slightly worried about the minimal look that these characters have. But over time it's grown on me, and I've got to say this action figure is really cool. So if you agree with all those points and you want to pick one up for yourself, be sure to do so via the link in the video description. As always, that will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk, and at the time of recording this review they are all in stock now, so be sure to add one to your collection. Now before we get onto the details of this figure, let's take a look at the packaging that he comes in. And as you can see, once again we get that really cool Force Awakens packaging design. You've got Kylo Ren featured prominently at the top. We have the Star Wars The Force Awakens logo at the side, and some absolutely stunning card artwork there of the Force or the First Order Flametrooper. Getting ever so tongue-tied just on the side there, which is absolutely awesome looking, really cool indeed. On the front we also have an image of the Build-A-Weapon feature. And as you can see on the reverse side of the box, we do get a rundown of that feature in more detail. Now, as you can see, this particular piece is assembled when you collect all the figures from the desert theme of the Force Awakens line, and some of those other figures include Constable Zuvio and Finn, who we've previously reviewed. So as you can see, those parts do combine to create one much larger weapon, and the piece that's included with the Flametrooper it just looks odd, you know, right off the bat. I'm not, you know, is this a backpack? Is it a shield? What is it supposed to be? I have no idea. It looks like a landmine crossed with a backpack, crossed with a shield, crossed with a bug. I really don't know what it's supposed to be. What I do know is the fact that it can be plugged into the accessory that's included with Finn, as you'll see here. And there's a peg on the bottom of this which just clips into place like so, and it creates a sort of sentry droid, which, you know, looks a little bit better once the parts are assembled, but as a standalone piece it really serves no purpose. So unless you're going to buy all these figures and combine these weapons, you know, they're a little bit useless in my opinion. But enough about the Build-A-Weapon feature, let's take a look at the awesome figure that is the First Order Flametrooper. Now, as I said, this guy's costume was on display at Celebration back in April, and it gave us our real first look at the new Empire, or what we would assume is the new Empire. Obviously, we now know that what was the Empire in The Force Awakens is now called the First Order, and these appear to be some real heavy enforcers of the First Order's will. We've seen these in action actually in the Comic-Con featurette for The Force Awakens. We've seen them blasting flames from their flamethrowers, you know, burning villages and all that sort of stuff. So they really do look very cool and very menacing, and I'm really excited to see these guys in action in the film. As I said, one of the things that I was a little bit sceptical about at first was the minimal look to these figures. Obviously, rather than the typical stormtrooper goggles or visors there, we do have just one singular black line, which looks, you know, simplistic and minimal, but at the same time it has a very menacing and almost creepy look to it, which I really like. One of the other aspects of this figure that I really love is the weapon, which as you can see is a flamethrower and features a rather heavy gas tank on the back, which does connect to the weapon via a tube or pipe. which just connects to the backpack and then proceeds to go up onto the flamethrower itself, which is a really cool looking design. Again, definitely a formidable weapon from what we've seen of it so far, and again I really can't wait to see these guys in action in the movie. Now in terms of articulation, as we all know, these Force Awakens figures do only feature 5 points, and in that respect we have a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the hips. So if you're looking to get this guy in a multitude of different poses, then this probably isn't the figure for you. However, if you're like me and you're just going to stand this figure on a shelf and have him looking really cool, then he certainly does the job. One of the coolest figures of the Flametrooper that I've seen so far is the Disney Store exclusive diecast Elite series, which I did get a glimpse at today at my local Disney Store branch, and I really can't wait to pick up that figure. It really does look cool. So again, if you're looking for a super articulated version, that's probably the one to get. But this is a more than adequate figure of the First Order Flametrooper, and I would highly recommend him. So again, if you want to pick this guy up for yourself and add him to your collection, be sure to do so via the link in the video description, and I'll be back with many more reviews very soon, so stay tuned for those. And until next time, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.